What's up guys, Ted from Immersion here, and I'm back with another Xanathar's Guide / Unearthed Arcana comparison video. This time we're talking about the Bard College of Whispers. This one was first released in the Unearthed Arcana Bard subclasses alongside the Glamour College. And for the most part, this one seems to have remained more or less intact with a couple of tweaks like all we've seen before, taking things that require 10 minutes down to 1 minute. And a serious boost to its level 3 ability, which was previously Venomous Blades, which let's take a look right here. So previously, Venomous Blades, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend a use of your Bardic Inspiration die to deal an additional 2d6 damage to the target. You can only do so once per round. 2d6 poison damage. This would go up to 2d8 at 5th level, 2d10 at 10th level, and 2d12 at 15th level, basically increasing as your Bardic Inspiration die increased. Now, it's called Psychic Blades. It does psychic damage, and it goes up by d6s. So still only once per turn. 2d6 at level 3, 3d6 at level 5, 5d6 at level 10, and 8d6 at level 15. To put that in perspective, at level 15, you are essentially doing a fireball per melee attack every turn for free. Right, 8d6, and again, it's 8d6 psychic damage, no saving throw, and it can crit because it's an attack roll. So potentially at level 15, you could swing your, whatever weapon you're using, right? It doesn't grant you any additional proficiencies. So we'll say probably, I think, a rapier a bard can use. So a d8 plus, let's say you do manage to crit, that's 2d8 plus 16d6 psychic damage on one singular hit. And you still have your bonus action to do whatever bards would like to do with their bonus action, inspire people or otherwise. Wow, huge boon. Big benefit of this. Rather than poison damage, one of the most highly resisted damage types in the game, most things are immune to psychic damage, which barely anything is resistant to at all. That's a huge buff. It does use your Bardic Inspiration, but doing eventually 8d6 feels like a potentially good use of your Bardic Inspiration die. Also at 3, you got Venomous Words. If you speak alone to a creature for 10 minutes, you can attempt to incite paranoia and fear into its mind. At the end of the conversation, it must make a wisdom save or be frightened for the next hour until it is attacked or damaged or witnesses an ally being attacked. While frightened in this way, the target is paranoid and tries to avoid the company of others, including its allies. It seeks out what considers it be the safest route, the most secret place available, and hides there. If the target succeeds on its save, it has no idea why you tried to frighten it, or that you tried to frighten it, and once per short or long rest. Now it's called Words of Terror. Way better wording. I like that a lot better. If you seek a humanoid alone for at least 1 minute. Was it humanoid previously? Yeah. 1 minute down from 10. Must make a wisdom saving throw equal to your DC or be frightened. It's frightened for an hour until it's attacked or damaged or it witnesses its allies being attacked or damaged. If it succeeds on a saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to frighten it. Short or long rest. Just tightened up, a lot less wordy than it was before. Mantle of Whispers. When you slay a creature with an attack or spell, or a creature dies within 5 feet of you, you can capture its shadow as a reaction. I really like the concept of this ability. While you have this shadow, you can only capture the shadow of a creature that is the same type as you, such as humanoid, and your size. Small or medium shadow. You can capture a small or medium shadow if you're small. You can only have one shadow captured at a time. After you capture a creature's shadow, use your magic to weave it into a disguise that allows you to take on their appearance and gain access to their surface memories for 1 hour, or until you dismiss it as a bonus action. You gain access to all information they would freely share with a casual acquaintance. Information includes general details on its background, personal life, but doesn't include any secrets. The information is enough that you can pass off as a creature by drawing on its memories. Creatures can try to see through the disguise with an insight check, opposing your deception check, which you get a +5 on. The disguise and the knowledge it grants when the ability disappears when the ability ends. Again, you can see it's much more succinct now. When a humanoid dies within 30 feet, you can capture its shadow. You retain the shadow until you use it or finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do, you get the disguise. You now look like the dead person, but healthy and alive. It lasts for an hour until you dismiss it with the bonus action. You gain all information the humanoid would share with a casual acquaintance. Such information includes general details, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the insight versus deception check, and you still get the +5, and it is once per short or long rest. Again, tightening up of the wording, making things a little clearer, easier to understand. Again, Shadow Lore. When you whisper a phrase, you choose a creature within 30 feet. They make a wisdom save against your spell save. It succeeds if it doesn't share a language or it can't hear you. On a successful save, you whisper unintelligible mumbling, and it has no effect. If it fails, it's charmed by you for 8 hours, or until your allies attack or damage it, or you or your allies. And it basically interprets whatever you whisper to it as its most mortifying, horrible secret. You don't actually know what the secret is, but it thinks that you do, whatever the target is. It'll obey your commands for fear that you'll reveal its secret. It won't risk its life or fight for you unless it was already inclined to do so. It also grants you favors and gifts it would offer to a close friend. When it ends, it has no idea why it held you in such fear, and this is once per long rest. Pretty much the same. 30 feet, wisdom save. Fails for the same reasons. Yeah, and no just mumblings if it's a successful save. Charmed for 8 hours, or until you force it to make a saving throw. It didn't say that before. It just said if they attack or damage it. So now it says clarify if you make a saving throw. Obeys your commands, etc. When the effect ends, the creature has no understanding of why it held you in such fear. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So that's pretty much it, guys. What do you think? I think the level 3 ability is pretty strong. That's possibly one of my favorite abilities, is just the extra psychic damage. Don't get me wrong, Words of Terror, Mantle of Whispers, and all that stuff are very useful. It definitely, I think, makes a great villain character, right? I mean, this sounds like an awesome supervillain type guy. Where they can, like a very brainy villain, can know your secrets and things like that. I don't know. What do you think? I think if I look at all 3 bard classes that we've covered so far, I think it's sort of, glamour is pretty much out for me. As I've stated, College of Lore is probably considered to be one of the best classes in 5th edition, period. But definitely the premier of the bard classes that exist out of Lore and Valor. Do these stack up to College of Lore? I don't think Glamour does, personal opinion. I personally think College of Lore, or College of Swords is better than College of Valor, in my personal opinion. You don't get the additional uses of your Bardic Inspiration, Combat Inspiration to give to people to let them add it to their damage or their AC. I guess you're basically the Valor Bard, but all of the benefits are internalized for you rather than granting them to your allies. You still get the extra attack. You just don't get the attack and the spell for free, but you basically get free Blade Flourish. College of Whispers, I think definitely in an urban-based campaign, this will be huge, right? The ability to incite fear into people and make them flee to their whatever respective location they think to be safe, to take on the visage of somebody who dies nearby and learn their surface memories, to terrify people so that they'll help you into doing something. In an urban, political intrigue-based campaign, College of Whispers clearly shines. In a game where you're mostly fighting monsters and not dealing with a lot of social situations, College of Whispers, you're basically going to only be making use of your third level ability, Psychic Blades. Granted, you are still a bard, you still have jack of all trades, expertise, magical secrets, and a ton of spellcasting. So, you're still very powerful by any means with all of these classes. But I feel like College of Whispers, when it's set up to work in a situation, like a pre-written campaign, you'll probably do pretty good because you're going to have a lot of scenarios where you're going to deal with NPCs, or there's a potential for lying or cheating or impersonating somebody else. This will go over great. And like I said, in a monster hunting type game, Unless you're fighting a lot of humanoids, I don't feel like some of your abilities are going to work as well. But yeah, all in all, I do really like it. I want to make one of these new bards just to try out and play. So it's a toss-up for me between Sword and Whispers. So let me know what you guys think in the description below. Which is your favorite of the bards? Be sure to come back. Next episode is going to be taking on the Clerk. We'll be taking on the Forge domain, which, as I know already, is very, very similar to it was in Unearthed Arcana, with very minimal tweaks. So, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.